Hello everybody, I hope you're well and welcome. I've had plenty of new subscribers recently. I hope you enjoy my videos. Now, do you remember the Rwanda deal?
Rwanda will have the capacity to resettle tens of thousands of people in the years ahead.
We're very clear that everyone who enters the UK illegally will be considered for resettlement and being brought over to Rwanda.
Well, it turns out, ladies and gentlemen, that the Rwandan government apparently today has come out and said that they only have room for 200 illegal immigrants. So the tens of thousands that Boris Johnson himself promised was going to be sent to Rwanda, and the Rwandan government, I don't know the figure, but it was probably hundreds of millions of taxpayers' money that was paid for. You've got to remember, all the money the government spends is money that you give to that government. So hundreds of millions for a deal where Boris says tens of thousands of illegal immigrants are going to be sent to Rwanda. Turns out Rwandan government have only got room for 200. And the deal, if you read the small print, it also said Rwanda would send their most vulnerable illegal immigrants. So we're talking, when they say vulnerable, we're talking about medical issues there, putting a further strain on the NHS. And yes, if you're not awake to the replacement for you yet, then yeah. Every time somebody puts it in a title on YouTube, I've noticed it put that this is a far-right conspiracy theory. Well, yes, unless if you really think that it's a conspiracy theory, then you're not opening your eyes when you're in a major city in England. The census, I don't think they've come out, last time I checked, they haven't come out with the demographics. They're holding that back because everyone's in for a big shock. They haven't added Scotland and Northern Ireland to it. They just said England and Wales. But the England and Wales, it said that the population is 59.5 million people. That is a record population for England and Wales. And then when you look into it further, the Welsh population, the population of Wales hasn't gone up that much. So this massive rise in population is just in England. I wonder why. Yes, the Rwanda deal, a complete waste of money. Only 200 are going to go to Rwanda. In exchange for that, we're probably going to receive thousands of Rwanda's most vulnerable illegal refugees. Now, Boris Johnson has fallen on his sword. He's no longer Prime Minister, and it's well known why he's no longer Prime Minister. He promised Brexit. People voted for Brexit. He promised to reduce immigration levels into the country, which was the main reason that people voted for Brexit. Instead of addressing that and following up on what his manifesto policies is, legal and illegal immigration has increased into the United Kingdom. And we can see through the census results, they're not going to Wales, not going to Scotland. Heaven forbid, they will not go to Northern Ireland. They'll all come into England. Now, in this country, there's already over 1 million people in need of housing. But these refugees, when they come, in case you don't know, they get instantly when they arrive, they are given Domino's pizza. That is the most expensive pizza, of course, and they won't give these illegal refugees, and some of them have turned up to our shores with guns and not faced prosecution. They've not faced any criminal charges. They've actually turned up. That's been released by the head of Border Force in a report. You'd be able to find it on the internet. So these people aren't learning. Boris Johnson's fallen on his sword. He knows full well why he's fallen on his sword. He knows full well, and the Tories are facing defeat in the next election. I don't know why, because all you sheep, if the Tories are going against the wishes, you're going to vote for Keir Starmer and Labour. When they openly say they're going to open the borders even further, they openly want these refugees because, let's face it, It's no longer the white working class that vote for Labour, it is the migrant population. And the Labour Party, clearly, they certainly come across as anti-white. And let's talk about another party, Britain First. Yeah, Britain First, they're supposedly right-wing nationalists. But they was openly asking for a Nigerian to be the next Prime Minister. Then when she fell out of the race, I've noticed on their Telegram group that they are constantly attacking Liz Truss, saying Liz Truss, this is the truth about Liz Truss, blah, blah, blah. So they are they asking for Rishi Sunak to be the next Prime Minister, who's clearly a globalist and he's clearly going to carry on with the same policies that Boris Johnson allowed? That's not nationalism. No, out of them two candidates, I would certainly be voting for Liz Truss. She's not brilliant, but at least she's English, and she is saying that she's going to remove us from these European Union globalist, all these EU rules that we're still abiding to today, even though we've allegedly left the European Union. At least she's saying she's going to leave the ECHR. At least she's saying it. I don't believe she's going to do it, not for 1 minute, because people need to wake up. Whoever wins, they're all puppets for the globalists. Now, Rishi Sunak is openly... Rishi Sunak is like the poster boy for the World Economic Forum. Liz Truss is saying she's going to go against that, but she won't do because they're puppets. They are puppets. The only way people get Brexit is if we leave the World Economic Forum. We leave the United Nations Refugee Convention 1951. And there's many other things from the United Nations, not just the United Nations Refugee Convention 1951. We should leave them all, and we can leave them all. You don't have to have a referendum. If the Prime Minister decides we're just going to leave all these conventions that insist we are to allow illegal immigrants who come here illegally into the country, then it would be done. So it's time for a Prime Minister to grow a backbone, and you're not going to get it with the Tories or the Labour Party yet. It's a bit depressing. Everyone seems to jump from one to the other. I mean, the hash that Boris Johnson has made whilst he's been in power, he knows if he would have addressed the population, the illegal and the legal immigration into the country, if he would have addressed it, he'd still be Prime Minister now, and he'd be soaring high in the polls. But there's something happening there, isn't it? The globalists, they're just puppets for the globalists, and Boris Johnson, I'm sure, will be paid off. He's not bothered that he's been disgraced and removed from Prime Minister. He will certainly have been paid a lot of money for his service to the globalists. So wake up. That's my message. Wake up. And next time you go to the ballot box, don't think to yourself, oh, well, I'm not going to vote for these, or I'm not going to... I mean, there's many... I wouldn't bother, and I'm an ex-UKIP member. I really won't bother with that, because that's been taken over by the globalists, let me tell you. But there's many other parties coming up, so if you might not have them as an option, but if you did get an option, like the British Freedom Party, or you had the National Housing Party UK, they've registered. British Democrats, that's another thriving nationalist party. If you have any of these on your ballot paper, then I would vote for them, because even just getting one into that Parliament, even just getting one from these parties, or the English Democrats, actually, the English Democrats are quite a big outfit, and I'm a unionist, but they're not unionists, but I'd still rather vote English Democrats than any of these globalists. So, yeah, Next time you go to the ballot box, don't think, oh, well, they've got no chance. Well, don't think to yourself, they've got no chance of winning, so I'm not voting for them, because even if they don't win, if they get a massive number of votes, that sends a message to Parliament that we're on to them. And there's also that. We're running out of time. I don't know if we can wait till the next general election, because this really is accelerating. We need to get active. We need to get organised. Even something as simple as knocking on your MP's door and telling them how disgusted you are with the situation, and being proud enough to say that you're concerned about the immigration into the country, without any, don't be scared of doing that and thinking, oh, they'll say I'm a racist. Because that word really is, it's really been overused, and I'm not bothered when somebody calls me that, and you shouldn't be bothered about that either, because an indigenous people not wanting to be replaced into their country is not racist. It is just common sense. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe.